Hello, this is Crypto CJ. It's the Trade of the Day, Monday night Zoom edition, and we had a nice uptick with Bitcoin and Ethereum over the weekend. It sustained during the morning and then gave some of it back. Let's go to the charts. We'll start with Bitcoin. All right, should be seeing my Bitcoin day chart. And I'll assume you're seeing it, or you would have corrected me. We got all these nice green candles here in this mini zone. I've got drawn out between 18K and about 15.7. And we had to close yesterday over 17K for the first time in it's like about 3 weeks. Yeah, since mid-December. So 18 could be difficult. Actually, TradingView moved its news function a little bit. There used to be a separate tab for it. I gotta get rid of this. What is this? Yeah, there used to be a separate tab for it here, but now it's just included with the chart, and they have it down here. And you click this on, it'll give you a list, and then click on the article, and it'll show up like it used to do. So it's talking about Bitcoin derivatives at 18K. There's probably a lot of shorts there. I'm not going to read the article in its entirety, but you might want to check it out later if you want, or if you're interested in that kind of thing. So 18K could be a hurdle. Just looking at some resistance. Yeah, it did get swatted down before back in mid-December. Last time we were up in that level. Over on Ethereum, we've got this mini range here between 1100 and about 1350. We did touch on it briefly, I think around 1340 today, and but couldn't hold it, drifted down to 1320. So overall, nice movement in the markets the last few days, but I'm not sure if we're going to hold it. Any questions, comments, or prophecies regarding Bitcoin and Ethereum?
I still have a trade in Carbon on Ethereum, but I disconnected from Carbon just to let the long runs.
Okay.
If we predict that 18K, it's gonna be hard to get past. Can we what do you think about just doing a short on that and then and just put a stop loss, maybe $100, and see if it goes above that. If it does, then my long is okay. If it does go
Yeah. I think
like it was, you know what I'm saying?
that would be an intriguing thing to talk about during the carbon portion
Oh,
of my
my bad.
Zoom.
I'm
You
sorry.
jumped the
I'm
gun
sorry.
a little bit, but
I'm sorry.
what you talk about sort of straddles both. So right now, this is primarily just a day trading approach here on my Zoom. And there's a couple groups that attend from time to time, Altcoin Alert folks. And once in a while, I get somebody from iCoinPro. Those are the day trading sources I use to find things to trade. So, but that's not a bad idea. Money management, when to exit a trade, those are all things we talk about in my day trading portion. So let's let's explore that in a minute when we get over to Ethereum, and we can go more into that. But Tuan's referencing Carbon, which is another platform in which I'm involved, and most of you guys know that. And that's the next Zoom I'll be doing after this one. So, but overall, we've got some nice movement in Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think we've got some financial news tomorrow that could affect the markets overall. I meant to look that up before I started, but time got away from me. So we'll see how the market holds up tomorrow. Any other comments generally about the markets, Bitcoin and Ethereum? Okay, well, let's go a little out of order, because I did notice that Altcoin Alert had Ethereum as one of its recommendations. So let's go to the 5-minute chart. And I don't really see an entry on the 5-minute chart for now. But let's bounce over to the 15. And then we can talk about Tuan's trade. All right. Now, Tuan, you're in a long now, and then you're thinking of a short. Is that correct, or did I misunderstand that?
Yeah, I disconnected from Carbon, right?
Mhm.
It just I didn't want Carbon to close with a minimal profit, so I
Okay.
cut it loose and just kind of manual look at Ethereum and take my profit when I wanted to. And
All right. So Tuan's talking about Carbon as a bot program in this instance. So he's essentially disconnected from the bot. He wants to manage this manually. So are you seeking opinions as where to get out? Where did you get in your trade?
yeah, I was thinking about, how I'll talk to Greg about this. I mean, would it be wise for us to kind of hold on Ethereum right now, hope it for the best, right? If it's going up, and then just kind of hold it for a while. I mean, I can take my profit now
Mm-hmm.
and reset everything, and then when that time comes, we can buy more, get in the long trade, because that's all Kevin does is long trades, right? So now we
Yeah,
we
yeah,
are low. I mean, we go up and then we're gonna do a long again, right? And we don't know how Ethereum's gonna climb, right?
yeah.
Or how it's gonna be. So I'm not even sure if I do it right, or should I just kind of hold it for now, or what that we have currently with Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
Just hold it, and see how much we can milk out of in terms of profit. Because if I get out now, I make my money, and then Kevin's gonna execute another long, right? And another long, you
Yeah,
know.
let's bring this back around to the kind of things we usually talk about on this portion of the show. And we talk about day trading here. What Tuan's talking about is really more of a swing trade or a longer term hold kind of trade, which what I like to do in my day trading is make small little chunks.
Okay.
So holding something for weeks at a time to make 10 or 15 or 20% doesn't interest me.
Okay.
Um, but it does a lot of other people. I'm in the minority in that. More people trade like you're describing than like me. But so that's fine. But I'm so when I had a similar trade going, and when I hit 10%, I was content with that, and then the system exited me out. So and what I share a lot on this program is have a plan when you go into the trade, and then when if you achieve that goal, whether it's a long or short, and it's mostly we talk about longs on this portion because a lot of the folks who are watching me are day trading, but they're doing spot trades, not leverage. So if you hit your goal 2 or 3 or 5%, that's a good thing. If it goes beyond that, don't feel bad. A lot of people go, "Oh, I should have stayed in and made 10 or 20%."
Yeah.
So what? You achieved your goal. That's what matters. Now you can alter your goal if things change, if circumstances change, if you have new information, and that's fine. Just bear in mind that you do risk losing, the profit that you gained. That's why in those situations, if something pumps unexpectedly, I will often use a stop loss in profit to protect on the downside. So
Yeah.
if my goal was 5% and it shot up, maybe to 8 to 10%, and I forgot to put in a take profit order and that goes in my favor, I'll put a stop loss in at around 5%. It was my original goal and see what happens. You can even, for more advanced people, there's, trailing stops and things like that. But we try to keep it simple here in this portion of the program. So, but short answer, figure out what your goal is based on, usually support and resistance. But we got a really nice move from Ethereum today, from yesterday morning, over 6%, but it has given some of that back, about a third of it. So to answer your question, I'd probably go to the 4-hour charts. See, we had this, in mid-December, we hit 1350. excuse me. And it got swatted down hard. So if you're manually trading this, it did bounce down again from about 1340 today. So I don't know if it has the strength of the market, so going to push it above that yet, especially with the, financial news coming out tomorrow, which could go either for us or against us. It's extremely annoying that we're tied to the financial markets overall, but they have had, significant influence, especially the inflation data on the crypto markets. So, I don't know. I felt good about getting out now. I was fine with that. But if you want to hold on longer, that's your call. But I don't really have a real good answer for, okay, get in here and get out here. So what do you think, Tuan? What's your goal? What's your plan? Do you have a number in mind?
Yeah, I think for Ethereum that I disconnect from it, I think I want to gain a lot more, maybe maybe 50% profit.
All right. You're content to hold that for,
Yeah,
weeks and
exactly.
months to make that goal, right?
Yeah, I want to see because yeah, I mean, you are right. We have to cut our profit, get out, and then start over again. But the reason I might want to do this way is because before that when we went to Carbon, we look at all cryptos. I mean, went nut on it. I mean, I scrape, found all these the top 100, and we began the process of finding 100% winning rate. That was wonderful. It was
Mm-hmm.
crazy. But now I'm just content with just Ethereum and BTC only. And that's all I'm looking. I'm not looking at any other crypto. So these are solid crypto. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay, of holding it and not, knowing that they're not going to crash like the other crypto.
Yeah. Yeah. But again,
But
I'll go ahead and wrap this up with you because we're kind of off the subject on
my bad, my bad.
I I think there were enough things to explore in what you brought up that to make it worthwhile even during this portion of the program. So, but again, for a longer term swing trade, I see some resistance here around 1620. That's back from October. Some more right here, 1750. Again, that's over the fall, late summer. So, and then up here at 1980, it did touch on 2000 in August and before dropping back down. So these are the areas I'd be looking for to get out the trade you described. So I hope this is helpful.
No, it's good.
All right, let's go over to Altcoin Alert. And actually, I want to address one more thing you said. Tuan is focusing on trading Bitcoin and Ethereum. I've gone sort of a quasi blue chip altcoin approach myself, where I don't trade, the newest, shiniest thing on the block very often. I trade coins with which I have experience. There's 20 or 30 altcoins that I think have potential, and those are the ones I tend to trade, but they still can move pretty big. I got I think what was it? Solana moved 20% in a couple hours and wrecked one of my shorts at the end of the year. So even a blue chip like that's been pummeled lately has some association with FTX and that debacle. But I thought it would just keep going down and down and down, and eventually it hit a floor and bounced, and I wasn't quite prepared for it. So, but anyway, I'm trading more of those. Other than that exception, those kind of coins. So we will be looking at what Altcoin Alert has for us and iCoinPro, but you'll see that I will veer towards those kind of coins, those with high volume and some history. So I'm gonna go over here to my Altcoin Alert, and I've sorted the AA score. Go ahead and sort this again. All right, so RUNE was a coin I saw this morning that I've traded before, Thorchain. a pretty good volume on this altcoin, and I've got that up here. Unfortunately for me, I got in right about when its move had petered out, so I'm in the negative on this one. So at the time I looked at the 5-minute chart, didn't really see anything that intrigued me that much. But if you are looking at this as a possible trade, on the 5-minute chart, I am seeing some support right about here at 143. So that might be a good entry, with an exit around here with, I see some resistance, around 146. If you want to, do what I like to do, go to your 15-minute chart and use your indicators and set alerts on those. I was using the super trend to catch a long. Fortunately, I got in right around here. Sort of bent my rules as far as my entry. Should have looked at this more closely. And it took a dip on me about 3.5%, but starting to come back. So I've got a ladder buy alert, in this 137, 138 area. I'll buy again if it goes against me, and try to dollar cost average into a better trade between the two of them. So if you want to use the super trend, I do have different settings than the default, so keep that in mind. But it's easy to do. Right click here, add your alert, super trend buy. You can also you can go up and down if you're trading leverage with the super trend direction change. You should have some other indicators on your charts for confirmation. Once per bar close and AA score. I usually call it something to tell me my information source. And make sure you have a notification turned on. This is what I use on all my alerts pretty much. On the app, pop up on my computer, then play a sound. I like the 3-note reverb. Anyway. So that's how you set an alert on the super trend if you want to use that one. Also like, and that's just like it sounds, you're trying to catch the trend. If you're looking for a dip trade, then I like these two, divergence. Divergence is a disagreement between the candle action and the indicator. I've got a good example of it on the Filecoin. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But here on the 15-minute chart, see these short alerts didn't do that well, though this last one did. This bullish divergence did really well. It was at 4:30 in the morning yesterday. I was snoozing, so and these are kind of choppy right now. But if you want to put an alert on this one, the divergence from any indicators version 4, right click on here. Select a positive divergence once per bar close. That's important. And AA score. And make sure you got a notification. Okay. Any questions on the RUNE analysis? Okay, let's go back to Altcoin Alert. And Filecoin, you can see, is down here with a score of 78.1. It was higher earlier. So I went ahead and marked this one up. I'm gonna go to my 15-minute chart because I wanted to show you guys a better idea of divergence. For those of you who aren't quite following the concept, there can be a predictive value for divergence. So and this is bearish divergence here. The candle action is going up. Sorry, let me pull this up. And this is the RSI. And candle action is going up here. On the RSI, you can see the indicators going down. So that's a disagreement between the two, a divergence. And so if you took this trade, I mean, it's not a huge move, but 2.5%, if you're on 5 or 10x leverage, that's a pretty good day trade. So I just wanted to point that out since I saw it and it was really clear to me. But you don't have to try to sniff out divergences. There are indicators that'll do that for you. This is the divergence for many indicators version 4. You can find that here, on your indicators, type in divergence. And this one should come up, but there's a lot of them. So you might want to try might want to try a few that I don't use. But this particular one will repaint, so you have to be aware of that, which is why I had the second one here. So like in this situation, like this MACD one went off and then this one went off right after it. So I'd feel good about that I have my divergence in order here and probably get in. So that's how that works. On the 15-minute chart, I'm going to delete these because they're going to be in the way. But let's go back to how to analyze this when you first see it. I look at the 5-minute chart, see if I can find any dip sequences first. And right now it's just kind of bouncing around in this this channel. 3.4%. Trying to see if an example of a dip on the 5-minute chart. I'm not really seeing one. So you have to find a better example of a dip trade on a different chart. If you're interested in taking this trade, I'm seeing multiple touches down here around 375. There's more support here around 355. So those could be potential entries, and those are easy alerts to set. Right click, add alert. I like round numbers, so 375, and whatever your information source is, Altcoin Alert. And you're good to go on your price alert. Don't just jump in though because it hits. Make sure to look at things again, the market overall. If it's plummeting down, you want to wait till that resolves, which is why I prefer indicator alerts. Yeah, while I'm on that. So on the 15-minute chart, a lot of times if you get a dip below the RSI, this indicator here, it dips below the 30 and starts to come back up, you can be in a dip sequence on the 5-minute chart. So for that reason, I showed you divergence alert, I showed you a super trend alert, this is an RSI alert. But this coin's been moving pretty well, so it's not coming down to the 30 value on the RSI, which is generally considered the oversold area. But we do have some drops down to say 34, 38. I don't usually go that high. So maybe 35 on this one. So on the RSI alert on my 15-minute chart, I want to be crossing up 35 once per bar close. And again, that's an AA score. That's how I would do that one. So what that tells me is when that triggers, it drops below and it's coming back up. It's starting to trend back up after a dip, and that's usually a good time to get in. You've got the dip, which is a good entry, and you've got some confirmation that's coming back. It's not perfect, but those can be pretty good entries for dip trades. Okay, any questions on file? I just focused on divergence and the RSI with that one. All right. Over on Altcoin Alert, we looked at a couple of AA scores. I also like to sort the database using either long-term sentiment or the Elder Impulse Daily. Long-term sentiment is Twitter data. What are people talking about? And the Elder Impulse is a technical indicator. So when these two are in alignment, that's something I want to look at further. And so I can sort by this. I'd probably use the Elder Impulse to sort and looking for usually the fewest number for what I'm looking for. So those tend to get the better values. So Ethereum is coming up as bullish on both the technical indicator and the Twitter data. People are talking about it and people are trading it today. It's up almost 3%, was up higher, but we've dipped a little bit this afternoon. So we talked about Ethereum quite a bit with Chuan's trade, so I'm not going to go over that one again. Another one is Cardano. ADA is very bullish on long-term sentiment. It's had a really nice move lately. Bullish on the Elder Impulse Daily. Showing that we're up 7%, over 7% today. Let's go ahead and look at that. ADA. So this is not a perfect dip sequence, but it's a pretty good one. The bubble starts to squeeze in a little bit and then bubbles out. Got 1, 2, 3, actually a 4 dipper. Probably would have gotten in right about here. Looking to get maybe 1 to 2%. So it drops, comes back up. Probably would have gotten out maybe here or hung in there longer, maybe over 2%. I still stayed in it. So that's a pretty good day trade on leverage. And it's even if you're not on leverage on spot, if you trade $100, $200 per trade, 1 to 2% can add up pretty quickly. So at the moment, we're at the top of the Bollinger Band, which is not a great place to get in for a long trade. So again, I'm gonna go over my 15-minute. Well, let's talk about a support area type alert. Got support right about here around 31 cents. That would be a pretty good entry. And again here, 31.4 cents. So you might want to set to, maybe cut your entry in half, go 31.1 and 31.4. Could be potential entry points. Using our indicators, let's look at super trend this time. Kind of interesting, gave us a sell early this morning. Down 3, almost 4%. From yesterday morning to last night, 20% move on a Sunday. Wow. Might want to look in here, see if there's any news about this. Can't recall anything, but. So, yeah, right click here. Alert on super trend. Want to go with the buy, once per bar close. And this is Elder Impulse sort. So that's what I would do with that one. And we've already talked about RSI and divergence alerts on other coins. So I won't go through that one with this one again, unless you want me to. Any questions on Cardano? See, I'm at about half an hour now. I want to go ahead and get over to iCoinPro if we don't have anything else on Altcoin Alert. All right. Well, iCoinPro, home of the 1, 2, 3 dip trade, where I learned it. This is one of their information sources called RSI Spy. The other one's Buddy Coin Crawler. And for longs, we're going to look for dips of 30 and below on the 1-hour RSI. I showed you an RSI alert before, though that was on the 15-minute chart. But if I see something here below 30 now, then that's something worth further investigation. But we don't have that. All these values are above 30. If something's close to 30, 31, 32, I might look at it. This one on Ocean it's almost 40, so I'm not going to look at that at the moment. Now, for those of you who trade leverage, you can sort this for a short. So these are values 70 and higher, get flagged as overbought and could be due for a correction. I was looking at Aptos earlier. I've got that one up here. Let's go ahead and check it out. So I'm seeing resistance around here at this 540, 530, 540 area, but it hasn't had a really big dip from that yet. So I might put an alert maybe up here at 550. No. This is RSI SPY. I have SPY short. And that would be one way to do it. Yeah, I prefer my indicator alerts. So for shorts, I like divergence. Though these haven't done that well. So instead of divergence, I think I'll go with an RSI alert. So what I want to happen is for it to go up and then start to come down again. Like we see here, where the RSI goes, then it comes back down right about here. Yeah, right about here on this chart. And there's a nice 4% move, you know, in 15 to 30 minutes. That's a pretty good trade. So I'm gonna go to my RSI. An alert crossing crossing down on 70 once per bar close, and that was a RSI SPY short, and my notifications are good, so I'm going to create that, and I'll be ready to short this. I've traded this before, so I know it's on Bybit. So not everything is shortable. So you know, you have to have some advanced knowledge of what you can trade on leverage and what you can't. So that's what I'm looking for Aptos. We'll see if I get that good entry. Okay, any questions on that setup? Okay, let's go back to long trades. I'm going to go to the Buddy Coin Crawler, which is the other information source I like from iCoinPro. And I'm going to sort from average low to SMA. And this is the average 24-hour low to the SMA line, which is that pink line between the Bollinger Bands on my charts. I don't think I really talked about that. So like the Bollinger Bands, that's the top of the Bollinger Band, that's the bottom, and this is the SMA line. It's a simple moving average. So we've got FET, Ocean, Gala. I was looking at Gala earlier. Looks like it dipped a little bit. Let's go to FET. And it's kind of cool. It's got this drop down menu and go straight to your trading view chart. Okay, on the 5-minute on FET. And here's a sort of an example of a dip trade. Squeezes here and starts to bubble out. 1, 2, 3. Get in about here. Go sideways and makes a nice move up. You know, 4%. That's a good day trade. Whether you're on spot or leverage. Okay, so I've got some support here in the short term, 14.6 cents. That could be a place for a price alert. On my indicators, 15-minute chart. Let's see. Looks like I set an RSI alert on this one already to drop and come back up. It just missed it this afternoon. That happens sometimes when you set alerts. So on this one, let's go with, I've already looked at the RSI, divergence. So we had bullish divergence. Could I use this alert? You might have gotten in this trade. You know, I'd be up almost 4%. So you know, that one worked out pretty well. But here, this one didn't. Went up 3%. That's pretty good. So nearly all of these, this one obviously did well. This one did pretty well. This one not so much, but you know, eventually it would have been profitable. So divergence, bullish divergence looks pretty good on FET. So I think I'm going to add that one to what I got going on now. Positive divergence, once per bar close. That's my buddy coin crawler. And my notifications are good. And that's all she wrote for that one. Well, any questions on some of these trade setups I've done with the various coins and or Altcoin Alert, iCoinPro? Right. Looks like you guys are pretty quiet. My teaching must have been just so stunningly perfect that that you guys just absorbed it and no questions at all. I thought I might be rusty. Oh, I was terrible on Friday, actually. I appreciate you guys showing up today. Well, I'll go ahead and wrap it up then for the trading portion of my Zoom call. If you're watching this on the recording, I appreciate that. Please check out the opportunities in the pinned comment below. For those of you in Carbon, stick around. We'll talk about that next.